Hi guys, this is Thunder E from Booredatwork, and I do have my Nexus 5 here, and we're going to tell you 5 things we love and hate with the Nexus 5. You can take this as a mini review for what you want, but we're just going to state out 5 things we didn't like and 5 things we did like with this device. So let's start off with the things we hated about the Nexus 5. First off is the battery. We didn't like the battery size, and also we didn't like the fact that it wasn't a replaceable battery. I'm combining a couple of things there. So battery life itself was okay, as about 12 hours, but as a power user, this thing doesn't last me the whole day. I still need to charge it. So that is one thing I didn't like. And also I cannot replace the battery. So even if I wanted to get a bigger battery, that is not possible with the Nexus 5. So that's something that we didn't like here. Now going to number 2. The second thing is no micro SD expansion. Yes, you can get the Nexus 5. It's 16 or 32 gigabyte variants, and also Google was trying to cut down the cost, but I think if they kept it at 16 and give you the option with a micro SD expansion, that would be much better for me, and I can actually store more on my device, instead of me just picking between 16 or 32 gigabyte variants. So I didn't like that. I actually hated that fact that it doesn't have that on the device. Next up, number 3 is the camera. Now it's got an 8 megapixel camera with OIS, and this is supposed to give you better photos in low light and better photos in general, and the camera is really not that great. It's a good camera, but I don't think it bests anything on the market, and also the camera software is okay at best. Compared to other camera software out there, you don't have a lot of camera functionality. It doesn't shoot in widescreen 16:9, and the best feature there is HDR plus. So I'm used to cameras that have different multi modes and multi functionalities for me to use. So that's something to take note. Fourth are the speakers, or is the speaker, sorry. The speakers on the left hand side there, and the speaker is really not that good. It really crackles when you have popping sounds. It doesn't really give you a robust sound while listening to music or just watching videos, and this is sad considering the Nexus 5 is made by LG, who made the G2, which has some very good sound from the speakers and also just audio quality in general. That's another thing we didn't like there. And finally, in number 5, what we didn't like about the Nexus 5 is the lack of extra features. Yes, we do have Google Now, but there's nothing else that really adds more emphasis to what the device is. So for instance, the camera has very limited options in there. The operating system has basically one key major functionality. You have nothing else that really adds extra to your device. So those are some things that we didn't like with the Nexus 5. Now, let's talk about 5 things that we did like about the Nexus 5. And first up is Android 4.4. Android 4.4 is very smooth. You can see me as I scroll through. I really enjoyed the fact that I could navigate around the Nexus 5 with ease, literally no issues, and actually no slowdowns whatsoever. And also the fact that it is optimized for lower memory usage, which means I should be using less memory, and my device works out very well. So I did like Android 4.4 here. Next up is Google Now. Google Now is now built in across your device by saying, "Okay, Google." Brings that up. I can actually use Google Now across my device. I can also bring it up from the bottom, and I can scroll through from the left hand side. I do like that. I think it's added more functionality for me. You can see I see a game between the Celtics and the Heat. I can also check out the Clippers and the Rockets coming up again today. Check out the weather, things like that. So that functionality I liked, and that was pretty cool. That was the second thing we liked with the Nexus 5. The third thing, of course, is wireless charging. This is the built-in wireless charging stand, and if I zoom in closer, you can see it's charging wirelessly. As we take it off, not charged, and put it back on, charging. I'm putting it on my Tilt Voo wireless charging stand, and I love it. It works with any wireless charging stand. It works with this, it works with the Samsung, it works with the Nokia charging stand. So I do love wireless charging built in on this device. Next up is Snapdragon 800 processor. The fact it has a processor that fast, that capable is great. It means I can game on my Nexus 5. It means I also have better performance overall on my Nexus 5 and have no issues. So it means I can go here, populate all my games on my Nexus 5 and really have no issues whatsoever. And last but not the least, one of the best features of the Nexus 5 is the price. At $349 for 16 gigabytes or $399 for 32, I think this is a great move and a great point for the Nexus 5 where users can pick up the device at a lower cost and not break the bank. So that's pretty cool and that's pretty great. And I think those 5 things really state why the things I love about the Nexus 5. And of course, earlier in the video, we talked about 5 things we didn't like about Nexus 5. Overall, I still like the device. I think it's a solid starting point for Google to push Android forward with the Nexus series. And hopefully I see more improvements, say, in the Nexus 6 or whatever they will call it as it comes up next year. So if you have any questions or any comments about the things we love and hate about the Nexus 5, let us know. I do have a call coming in. Don't forget to subscribe to all our pages on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. It's all Border Work with 2 O's. So this is Thunder E saying thank you and always enjoy entertainment.